Plants. Turn that on there, turn that on there. On. And then I need to go into this, Perfect. G'day guys, hope everyone's doing well. Sorry, just getting my speaker sorted. Ooh. Was going to use the speaker, turns out it's completely flat, so that's a no-go. So anyway, we're here for a quick session. This is going to be probably only around the sort of 30 minutes mark. Just want to put a little bit of paint on this, and then after that I need to dash. So we're going to go through briefly. I've been running around doing some frame building. It's probably a bit noisy. Frame building, canvas building, stuff like that. So anyway, one little plate, some colours, and we'll see where that takes us. Sounds like fun. And let's see here. A bit of blue, that's what we're after. Hey BGB, how we doing? A little bit of blue here, this is what we're after. A little bit of blue. And then I do want some gloss fluid medium. I think that's what I'm after. Is it? Yeah, go on then. A little bit of gloss fluid medium, if I can get the lid off. Perfecto. And then I want to get this brush. Whoa. The old knees aren't working too well at the moment, guys. I'm not quite sure why that is. But they're playing up a little bit on me, which isn't great. Let's grab that. Done. We are done. Yeah, Griffin, we move around. So, this is more of a forever home. This is the Crate. This is a flexible office space in Albany, Auckland. So if you're in Auckland, this is a pretty cool place to work. But sometimes outdoors is good. We chop and we change. We're all over the show, guys. All over the show. Hey Charlie, how we doing? And Fuzz Sparta, I see you're in here. Here we go. Alright, let's get some of this paint. Just dabbling around through here. There we go. So this is a picture. It's quite hard to spot actually. You might see a crazy background and then a little tacker here. A boy holding a bowl and a dog just down here at his feet. And so our job here is going to be to capture that dog and that boy as best we can. And what we're building up here, you get sick of me saying this, but we're after a bit of depth. Today we're using acrylics. This is acrylic paints for an acrylic painting on a raw 15 Fox canvas on a cedar frame. Cedar, which is some of the best wood you can make a regular frame out of. It's not ash wood, it's not pine. It's good stuff. It's the good stuff. Hello, Roland Ola. Indeed. There we go. Splash a bit of that around there. Splash a bit of that around there. There we go. Beautiful. Hal Nuris. When it comes down to finding your painting style, that's an interesting question. That's a big question actually, because I don't think you decide on a style and then gun towards it, as in like, I'm going to have that style and I'll settle for nothing else. I think what more happens is you become more and more true to yourself, and through the process of being more true to yourself, you stumble, probably stumble's the wrong word, but stumble into your art style. So a lot of people end up in a whole bunch of different areas: pottery, painting, impressionism, futurism, all these different little pockets. But I think you end up in those areas because of your own little journey. So for me, my style tries to make something that's perfectly imperfect. Hey Jay, how you doing? I was going to stream yesterday actually, Jay, but look, I got a little bit caught up because I went to a place on a surf beach and it had zero Wi-Fi reception. So anyway, we're back here. Well said. And Helnaris, it's not normally about saying my art teacher, some people say my art teacher didn't show me the right stuff. My art teachers never showed me how to paint in the style that I have. My art teachers, they basically lay out a whole bunch of paths, and then it's up to, like you say, your intuition to get down there, to actually figure out who you are as a person, because no one else can tell you that. They can lay out the discovery, but you need to have the intuition to figure out who you are. Self-reflection, intuition. Hey Jules, I'm fantastic, good to have you here. And LJ, hello, and I can't read that language. I think that's Thai, but good to have you here too. We're just here briefly, guys. It's a power session. We're just smashing out a little bit of paint on this work, and then I need to race off. I spent most of the Monday doing some accounts, doing some calls. I went to the gym, that was naughty of me, during work hours, and building a few frames and getting things like that ready. So tonight, I'm going to be at home finishing off some canvases, so tomorrow we can attack it. That's the plan. Drawing skills, absolutely essential. Depending on the type of art you like to do, having the ability to create what's in your mind is fundamental. And when you talk about creating faces, bodies and things like this, it's great to have some hard skills, but don't get too many hard skills. Once you get too much ability to create bodies, what can happen, it's going to sound really weird here, but what can happen is you start turning everybody, masculine, feminine, old and young, into the same generic form that you've learned how to build, because it looks good and everyone seems to like it. So why wouldn't you do that? But the biggest issue that comes in here is that once you start doing that, you connect with something that looks beautiful but doesn't actually honour or glorify the individual. You need to glorify that individual. That's so fundamental. Hello Gary, how you doing? Ray, welcome on in. And Apollo, jeez, we've got a whole bunch of people here, and we've got 1,000 likes. We're rocking it. And you took my trail of thought. So what I was saying there was, yes, have some hard skills. Only so if you know the rules, you can, it's going to sound really cheesy, know the rules to break them correctly. But honestly, hard skills are really helpful if you do actually just want to draw an arm, a hand, an eye. But the more hard skills you learn, the harder it's going to be to actually divulge and break away from them. I find when I start doing too many faces, like portraits in a row, what will happen is I'll end up actually, too many portraits in a row, and I end up actually, sorry, trying to do two things at once. There we go. Making all the faces look fairly similar, and you don't want that. Portraits have to be very, very unique. So that's something that you run into. Hey Clarion, and hello Steve, welcome on in. Guys, please remember, it's a quick session today. We're on a tight time schedule, but I wanted to leap on and say hi, so we're here, and do a bit of painting with you guys. This picture here is a really fun one because it depicts the man who makes all these paintings end up around the world, the man who's in charge of shipping for Sid Gower Art, the absolute legend behind the scenes that makes sure the work fits perfectly in its boxes, that it arrives at locations, that there's tracking numbers, that everything's well sought after and looked after. This is his son. So he's commissioned this one. This is his son. This is their dog, who sadly passed away at this stage, and we have a big, lovely background of all sorts of textures and poles and things like that. I get it, you have to be in the moment and read the subject without, yes, 100%. So there's a funny thing about that, because sometimes you think you're heading down the line of avoiding all your preconceptions by ignoring the eyes, the nose, the mouth, hold on, sorry, it's a bit noisy. Ignoring the eyes, the nose, the mouth, all the little assets that make up a face. But in the same process, you can be, well, every artist is different. I think some artists might even go into the journey of saying, hey, I make artwork, and when I make the artwork, I don't want any drawing skills to influence me. I just want to paint the shapes I see. And other artists might say, hey, I know all the hard skills. Now I build out the person exactly the same and then add individual characteristics. That's okay too. I'm somewhere in the middle. That's the most appropriate way to put it. I believe some hard skills are definitely required, but they're not fundamental to every single painting. You want to use them as a toolbox, but sometimes the job doesn't require the tools. And you want to have the ability to put away the toolbox, but once the toolbox becomes shackles, now you've got a problem. It has to be avoided. It has to be avoided. Here we go. I always enjoy though, when I come online, when everyone leaps on and there's a big sort of like a reunion. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. All right. Very interesting. See. But look, at the end of the day, every artist is on their own journey. Every artist is uniquely different in their own way. And it's really, really important that you do value your own pilgrimage, your own journey, and realize that whatever someone else is doing, it's not you. That's not like a stay in your lane kind of comment. That's a realize that you're unique enough that you can learn off other people, but your own journey is your own. There we go. Where else do we go? Through here. Lovely. Around the edges. Perfect. And down the base here. Lovely. Might grab just a little bit. So here. Hey Tim. Just a little bit of white. White. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Add this in here. Lovely. And then down through here. Punching colour, that's what we're after. Hey JB, welcome on in. And Sky LA is back in town. Man, if I knew so many people were going to leap on at 5 p.m. on a Monday, I would have tried to allocate more time. But guys, we're here for a limited amount of time. Limited. So, in the near future, your artist is going to have to run. JB's like, is JB like, why did you come live if you don't run off? And yeah, your arms. If you want arms like this, the best way to do it is to carry a porcelain plate for 12 hours a day while you paint. Or, you know what? You can be a waiter at Munich, at Beerfest. Those ladies carrying those big old containers, I reckon that'd do it. But honestly, I have a palette, but the problem with the palette is that on one hand it's a little bit light, and so paint can flick off it because you move it too easily. On the other hand, your thumb has to go through it, and it doesn't feel good. Like, it wears out your thumb after a few hours. It's sort of the abrasion of it. But with this, you can hold it. It feels nice. Plate's just better, guys. Plate's so much better. I used to say it's because I like it, and now I've used enough plates that I'm fully aware that a plate is just way, way better. So, that's just a fact. It's just more fun. Here we go. But, and the paint doesn't stick to the porcelain. You get a good quality plate. Look at this. This is just a regular restaurant plate, but because of the glazing on it, it's so easy to wash paint off plates. So easy. But anyway, we always talk about art, but not so much about the cleanup. You know, people are using oils out there and whatnot, spending hours cleaning them up. You'd be like, it doesn't take hours. Oh, I don't know. If you get it on the wall, it does. Carpet, that's niggly. These are all niggly things. Hello, Serena. What is the background noise? There's a window open just behind me here. I did have a. I should actually plug it into charge, guys, because once it gets going, we can just start. Yeah, Jamie's like, traffic, I believe. Yes. We do have a little speaker thing, but it's out of batteries because Mondays, bloody Mondays. Sid wasn't prepared. He showed up with not enough. But you know what? That's okay. Because even though on this particular occasion the sound's ruined and I've let everyone down, I know you guys will still love me. Or appreciate me. Or know that I'm trying. You know what? That's all we need to do. Know that Sid is trying. Ventilation. Oh, thank you very much. Look, I was like reading it going, oozing? Is it, because if it was oozing, that's a problem. But it does sort of look like it's oozing. Okay, Chad with his pun for the day. Here we go. You ready? Seb, did you hear that Energizer Bunny was arrested and charged with battery? Well, this is good. It's a good one. No, this is a good one. It's not your best one, Chad, but you know what? You don't come here for my compliments, you come here for my honesty, and you do get compliments. So, here we go. You know why there were two nuts, two regular peanuts, and they wandered into a bar. They wandered into a bar, and one was assaulted. There's another legal joke for you. Now we're all having some fun. I give it a bronze star. You know what? That's pretty good praise. A bronze star. That's all good. I'd take that. You know. Chad, are we taking that? I think since we both had a pun, do we get to share it? I mean, it's really up to Sky. Are we sharing the thing? And JB, you are reminding me that I do need to do a little bit of an upgrade on the emojis. Inbound. I always wonder what would be best to do. But anyway. And thanks for the paper crane, Jules. I appreciate you. Hope your workout went good the other day as well. I went for one this morning and finally got my key card going properly, which was, oh my god, niggly at best, but now it's all sorted, which is fantastic. So I can go to the gym any time of day. So tomorrow I'm going to go early in the morning. I'm going to, depending on the weather report, we might go out into nature to start a stream, but We will see. I've got a job to do, a project. If you're part of the Art of Painting channel on Instagram, you'll know about the project coming up called Dancer. Now I put up a bunch of options, possible things to do with the Dancer, and we've selected solo, masculine, male, modern dancing. Very specific. My favourite workout? Probably a walk. Feels very natural, primal, healthy. Swimming's fun actually too. And hello, Victoria, what's good? You joining us. That's the best. Victoria, I was saying to the others though, this is just a quick session. I'm going to be dashing off sooner rather than later. But I wanted to come on at least appear on the Monday. But I had some little niggly things I need to sort out in town. Accounts and invoices. Blah, blah. It's essential stuff, don't get me wrong, you have to do this, but it kind of feels like it takes away from the painting time. So, anyway, by the by. Better for your joints, yeah, I can see that. Always dashing. That's funny, because I'm actually a really slow runner, guys. I think you can tell from the camera as well. I'm a weird proportion. I've got like a long torso and then like quite short little legs. And that's been overly harsh. I love my body, don't get me wrong. And everyone's got a unique body, its own unique ways as well. But if you were being rough and thinking there was some standard for conventional beauty, that's what you target me on. But you know what? I like it because I fit easily into car seats and jet planes. So who's laughing now? Very few people have legs this short and also come under 6 foot. Almost reach 6 foot, so primo to be me. Oh, that's actually, you know what? As I've been getting, I don't want to say getting older because I'm not old, I'm 30, so I'm still a spring chicken. But as I've been aging, I've really started to enjoy biking. And the reason that's the case, I think, is because it's very light impact on the knees. So with you 100%, but actually, that's always quite nice. Always a big fan of that. Just a little bit of a cycle. Let's get a little bit in there. And then just a little bit over there. How are we doing? There we go. Let's get some there. Now we're talking to it. I mean, like, it's not impact-based white collar. Like, if you think about running, where you go choof, 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 and put all that impact onto your feet. But then if you think about cycling, where you get to just slowly move in cylindrical circles, it's less of a bang, bang, bang on your knees. Still uses your knees, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but as I've gone from my 20s to my 30s, I have noticed that the lower amount of impact to just moving your legs in circles definitely is a primo thing that I've been enjoying. Right, Steely Violet. Steely Violet, the colour that I love, that this painting never knew it needed. See where this takes us. I'm going to set it all over the show, up in here. There we go. And we're just going to keep dabbling up through, yeah, beautiful. Where else are we going to go? Over the whole shooting box, over the top. Lovely. And the shirt's not the perfect fit, but that's okay. The shirt actually came from an op shop, so it's a little bit baggy around the waist. I've already got paint on it and ruined it, but honestly, it's pretty good. Honestly, white shirts are a bit of a rarity when it comes to op shops. There's some around, and that's always fun, but not a whole bunch. Usually it's the black shirts that survive the best. Yeah, the one thing I like about cycling the most, it's definitely the thing I do when I go to the gym and I feel like the gym the least. Because then I can get my phone out, put it on the screen, and actually just cycle do YouTube and anything else other than concentrate on the workout, which would be like, that doesn't sound like he's getting much done. Yeah, nah, but I showed up. And the cycle made that possible. So, but, oh, sorry, Victoria. I would call this one Boy and Dog. This is a commission, and it's going to the man's son, Michael's son, who is turning 21, and Michael and Sharon, they package up all the artwork. They're incredible individuals. They do an incredible job. They've looked after me since well over the last year. Somewhere between, we did 2 family and like couples portraits straight after Mahalo. There was the family one and the couple one of Scott and Craig. And then after that, then I was into Pack and Send. Sorry, not Pack and Send, Michael and Sharon, who own Pack and Send. It's a franchise. And they have been absolutely instrumental in supporting me and how to get this artwork out there in the world. And actually, they found some amazing ways to not only box the artwork, but do so in a way that makes it slightly smaller to decrease the shipping costs, which was fantastic. So that got passed on to collectors, which was pretty cool. So if you notice, the invoices went down, or there wasn't I think it affected about 3 or 4 works. I thought, good on you, Michael, you absolute legend. So anyway, we're getting off tangent, but wow. Maya loves art. That's good, Maya. Live your dream. Natalie. I probably actually, I like abdominals the most. I don't know why that is. I think it's because everything else seems to use a joint, and I don't like my joints being ground up. Like, do things like chest exercises or squats or all these things. There's always a joint that's being pinched. I always find when I'm doing abdominal exercises, provided you don't actually over tense and hurt your back, they're just great. Smooth, easy, chill. Less shipping cardboard, yes, JB, and that's actually a really interesting thing because once I started, this one's canvas because it's staying here in New Zealand, but once I started actually wrapping the canvas around a permanent surface like masonite or AC or bamboo, and so you had the canvas surface but on a hard object, it reduced it by almost double, and that reduced the amount of packing that needed to go on the works. And since it needed less packing, the environment was better off, and also, already, this is a cool one, already the prints via the website are 100% compostable, so, which is really, really cool. So it's very well protected. Those things show up looking really nice, and apparently, not apparently, they definitely are. I'm assured that the boxing team, they say this is 100% compostable. They've got some good stuff. Yeah, I reckon. When I originally started working with the whole Creative Hub, worked with them to actually get the prints all sorted on the fanciest paper, blah, 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 blah. Not a sales pitch. All that sort of stuff. They did say, and the other thing we do is it's completely end-to-end carbon neutral, and the actual boxing itself is all eco-friendly and all this stuff. And so I'm like, that's actually really cool. Like, it wasn't an afterthought. It was like, and it can't be. It was intrinsically built into everything they do. So that's part of the reason I actually thought, let's combine with these guys. They actually are good. What's this about looking lean? You know what? You say I look lean. I have hidden 2 comments in the last month. I've hidden 2 comments on Instagram, and those 2 comments said I was getting fat. And then someone jumped in there and defended me, and Vernon, you're a champion, and then they're like, you can see it in his face. And I'm like, I weigh the same on the scales, but thank you, now I'm having a fat day. So anyway, But regardless though, guys, this brings us into an interesting topic though. An interesting topic because if you're going to be an artist, and it's written in a book like How to Be a Great Artist, I forget who wrote it, cheers Vernon, the book says one thing you need if you're going to become an artist is really thick skin, because if people are going to love your art, and we've talked about this before, but if people are going to love your art, there's also going to be people who have the same reaction in the equal and opposite direction and hate your art. And so you need to be able to not only engage love, but engage hate. And another thing that's really interesting, and I know Jules, you know about this because I saw you like the comment. We talk about, I commented back to someone in the comment section on one of the videos, and I said back, they were saying about people saying really positive things or negative things, and I said it's equally as hard to stay true to yourself when people give you negative feedback and positive feedback. If you get endless positive feedback, you start thinking, I'm great, everything I make's great, and you stop actually critiquing yourself, having perfectionism in and of yourself to get a result that actually you challenge yourself to make and strive for. And then you get too much negative feedback, and then you also change, thinking, I have to become something to appease everyone, to make everyone happy. What's that going to be? And so these are the challenges. But at the end of the day, you need to have a strong sense of self and obviously accept the praise and accept the negativity. It's allowed to exist. Both those things are allowed to exist. But get that, and obviously, and accept it, but then remember who you are. And this is where I come back to leading with intention, because that will give you that power to know, where am I, who am I, and where am I going? And that way, no matter how much praise comes in or how much negativity comes in, you'll fire the arrow exactly to where you're going. Think of two examples at the extremes. A king where everyone says, you're great, I love what you do, and they're never going to tell him anything else. Never, ever anything else, like King Joffrey from Game of Thrones. He's right on everything because no one would ever oppose him. So praise stops him from being able to be who he could be because he thinks everything's always perfect. Negativity, Van Gogh, easy, low-hanging fruit example here, but with Van Gogh, everything he did, no one liked. But he stayed true to himself and he didn't change. And he's also the greatest painter of all time, even though no one liked him at the time. But he didn't let that negativity sway his artistic journey. That's so important. Natalie, though you might be right, it's important to actually understand that when it comes to making negative comments, usually it comes down to hurt people. And also, in the comment section, people don't realize sometimes the power that they have to affect another person, both negatively and positively. And one of the things we can do for ourselves, hey Crystal, welcome on in. Cheers, Vernon. One of the things we can do for ourselves is realize that obviously when someone goes into a comment section and says, I dislike everything you're doing, you're a nitwit, you're this, you're that, it hurts our feelings. We know that. But also realize the effect you can have in a comment section with a positive comment. I love this. I love your attitude. I love what you're doing. You don't know who needs to hear that. And that's, when there's no noise and everything's silent, that comment has so much impact in the world. So much impact. And so I've actually, guys, this is going to be, let's talk about something quite cute here. Hey, Emily. Something quite cute that I've started doing. This is part of my morning routine. I turn on the coffee machine. It takes a solid, cheers Vernon. It takes a solid 30 minutes to heat up. While that's heating up, between waking up, doing a cheeky little, I've got a game on my phone called Eternium, which is like a RPG MMO, very naughty. I spend about 20 minutes playing that a day. But I also go into Instagram. I search a hashtag like oil painting, blue portraits, surf art, whatever. I just search a hashtag on Instagram and I go and find 10 other artists or 10 works that I like or 10 galleries, whatever. and I find something that actually speaks to me and emotionally charges me and vitalizes me, and then I tell that person that. And that's so valuable to actually, instead of thinking, because one thing you can fall in the rut of as creators, I'll show you the other side of the fence here. When you're making content, so I make artwork and I share it with the world, you get so caught up on going, almost like me, and you forget that actually you have the power, you still have a voice to go into a comment section, to go to strangers and tell them how much you love what they're doing. And I see a lot of creators who get very, very self-absorbed and end up just making stuff and hoping for a reaction from the world just for them, without realizing that they still have that voice and can empower someone else with it. So go into the comment section, and if you're wondering what you can do, when we talk about doing 5 good deeds a day out there in the world, like holding the door open for someone, like shouting someone a coffee, like giving someone a compliment, sometimes we're by ourselves and those opportunities aren't given to us directly in front of us. But if we go on Instagram, and this is where social media can be beautiful, we can go on Instagram and give out 5 real, honest compliments. We can search for something that's meaningful to us, we can see something that's meaningful to us, and then we can tell that person directly, wherever they are in the world, right here and now. I love the way you use your blues. I love the way you capture faces. I really love the way you capture a vibrancy and realness in your work, whatever it might be, and touch that person from wherever you are in the world. And so I do that. 10 comments a day, I find things that are meaningful and I tell people that, because you can really, I'm sure that at some point someone reads that and I'm sure it means something. I'm really sure it does. So anyway, when it comes to complimenting, don't just say, I love this, and then move on, for example. You can if you're comfortable with that, but say something real. Find something real, say something real, because this isn't just for them to get a boost or a compliment from a stranger. This is actually for you to realize that actually, okay, the world's bigger than me, and I can see other people in it and love other people in it and tell them what I love about them. And that'll also give you a better understanding of yourself in a small way every single time. You'll start asking the question, what do I like about that? For me, when someone's really honest, authentic and raw, what was the recent one that had me laughing? I think it was a post by Steve. He was wearing Steve, I hope you don't mind me saying, you're wearing a mask of some sort and just saying Happy Halloween to everyone. Honest, authentic and real. And the irony here, I didn't actually comment, but that was something that resonated. And when you see artists actually not trying to just sell a piece of craft, but showing you how they've intrinsically built in their personality and way of existing into the picture, thumbs up, thumbs up. Vernon. Who cares? Honestly, Vernon, actually, who cares? It's largely irrelevant. Largely irrelevant. How many times? When I was growing up, I always used to look jealously at the jocks in school because they were tall and they were rugby players or sporty and things like this. And I was never that. I wasn't the cool kid, I was a geek. And it's so irrelevant. What's more relevant that we forget about is finding personal happiness. It sounds so cheesy to say it, but finding personal happiness and finding someone you can actually love. And you know what? The rest of the world can say whatever they want. If the person you love looks at you and thinks you are the best person on the face of the planet, that is ecstasy. And there is nothing better in the world than that. So forget about trying to become something, because usually the person who loves you back cares nothing about what bar you didn't quite meet. In their eyes, you're everything you ever need to be. And so it's not that. It's not saying that, oh, everyone's beautiful. It's saying that no. To the people that matter, the question or the premise or the very assertion is entirely irrelevant. That's the beauty of it. Good night, Martin. We'll catch you later. And yes, well spot. It's a little bit messy right now, but yes, there is a dog at the bottom of the painting. And I'm so sorry that I'm charging everyone up with a little bit of an emotional raw talk Well, we always do that, don't we? But I do need to dash. So, not just yet, I'm going to grab one more colour. One more colour? I'll just ask. 1 second, guys. Do we need to go somewhere? Cool. I've got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. But then I've got to pack up, so give me like 7 more minutes. Umata, not only is it great, it's the only thing worth having. I'm 30 now. I'm getting really tired of fake pleasantries, conversations that aren't real, two people pretending to fit into roles to appease the other person who doesn't even want to be there in the first place. Just, we have all these quotes and things, be you, be this, be that, be. The funny thing is, it pretends like in your current state you're not actually being something. At every given moment, you're being the real, you're being yourself. You're being yourself. You can't escape the present. You're in it. When we talk about, live in the present, you've got no choice. You've literally got no choice. And so it doesn't come down to a matter of saying, live in the present. It comes down to a matter of saying, accept the present. And how often are we having a conversation with someone and we're thinking about being somewhere else? Or wildcard, in that conversation, we could accept that this is our present. They're meaningful in this current moment, and you're going to give them your undivided attention. Because you've got two choices. You're literally not going anywhere else, unless you're going to cut the conversation sort of short and walk off. If you choose to stay in that conversation, you've got the chance to give them your undivided attention. Your undivided attention. Because your two choices are divided attention and undivided attention. And it feels really good, not just for them, but for you when you genuinely listen to someone. JB, catch you later, buddy. Small talk is the worst. Small talk is necessary. It's necessary in that when you meet a new person, you have to engage in small talk so that you can both ascertain whether you are dangerous or not, psychopathic, say. And if you can engage in the simple pleasantries, then you can quickly move on from there. The challenge comes on when small talk becomes not only the first way of engaging with someone, sort of like when you write an email when you say, hi Ben, comma space, hope you're well. Small talk, it's fine. But it's when it becomes the only thing you do, when it's the start, middle and finish. That's like having a hamburger just made with bread. Sure, small talk was okay. When you first bit into it, it was fluffy, it was, it was fine. And then you get to substance, the patty, the tomato. If you're American, no tomato. If you got your lettuce, you got your sauces, your mustards, your tomatoes, whatever you make your burger with, you bite into it and it's all there waiting for you. But if you just have bread the whole way through, no one grabs like a stack of 9 pieces of sliced bread and goes, that's exactly what I feel like, and just eats it like that. Yeah, Sarah, 100% true. 100% true. Now obviously have the small talk, but then allow depth to come into it. Don't just think small talk's all you get. And I think, yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. I'm not going to lecture you too much about that, guys, but one of the key things about it, one of the key things, and the most scary and dangerous things about it is that to actually make small talk turn into deeper, meaningful talk, we have to be prepared to be vulnerable. And if no one else is going to do it around you, you have to have the confidence to do it. The confidence to be vulnerable in order to give other people permission to do the same. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I've done it a million times, and I still tell you this, it doesn't get easier. You get that little lump in your throat, you get that little feeling of butterflies in your stomach, as in like, oh, maybe it's not the right time, There's always an excuse not to talk about your feelings. But if you can actually man up, and it is manning up, because when you feel butterflies and a lump in your throat, those two things go hand in hand with feelings that require you to have courage and bravery to overcome. That's a fear response. And so you're feeling fear about expressing yourself. It takes courage to overcome that, and courage is something we attribute to adults, to men, to women. And so saying that, oh, I don't share my feelings, that's actually a sign of weakness. If you believe that butterflies and lumps in your throat are the sign of an early fear response, if that's the case, overcoming fear happens with more grown-up people, it happens with women, happens with men, then your ability to do that or overcome that would make you more of a man, more of a woman, more of an adult. So that's what I reckon. And don't get upset if you do become vulnerable and get a poor reaction from someone. It had very little to do with the way a new person would receive you allowing yourself to be exposed and vulnerable. It had more to do with you getting the confidence to do so. This is an internal journey. If they want to come on that and they welcome the inside of you that you're willing to show, that's fantastic. But if they don't welcome it, you still opened up. And it's a fantastic step. Good for you. I'm not talking about always big dramatic stuff, about trauma or sadness. I'm talking about other things too. I'm talking about mainly focusing your dreams, what you love. So many people are so closed up. We're afraid to even use the word love, let alone talk about what we could love and what we want our dreams to be. You may have a dream to actually, if you're in high school and your dream is to actually find a wife and fall in love, you might be too nervous to even vocalize that. How outrageous is that? Victoria's like, that's enough of me, I'm out of here. I'm done. But yes, it is late in the day, Victoria, so we'll catch you later. We'll catch you later. But I think the shift's already occurred, guys. The shift's already occurred. We say, like, I see a comment there from White Collar. Men, that is true about men. But remember that right now, as a society, when we see a reel or an Instagram video or a YouTube video of a man being vulnerable now, or a woman being vulnerable and talk about her feelings in a very, very, not a matter-of-fact way, but a real, authentic kind of way, suddenly we elevate them in our eyes. And so society has actually already made that shift, or is most of the way through making that shift, to value someone who can express themselves, someone who can talk openly about their dreams, someone who can be open and honest with themselves, the world around them, and speak of what hurts them, what they love, and who they want to be, who they were. That takes a lot, guys. That's not easy to do. Not easy to do. Anyway, I ended up ranting. We're here now. That's all the time I've got for today, but we will be back here. We will attack a couple more layers. This one here is in a good place, but not a finished place. I'm going to be building a few canvases tonight. If the lighting looks nice and it's even worth watching, I'll definitely share the process. But apart from that, wherever you guys are in the world, I hope you have a great day or a great night. Absolute pleasure to leap on here so briefly for the sort of, jeepers, 30-minute period we were around for, and have so many of you guys leap on, so many regulars. Really, it's pretty special. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I will see you in the very near future, and I promise you, we'll do some proper painting next time, and I won't just chew your ear off. Bye, guys. Look after yourselves.